This is one of these barrier fences here. I think it might be the ones that we're asking about. But honestly, after playing with the force tool a little bit and realizing the difficulty it is with precision painting with it for something like this, I still feel like with the knowledge I have, which isn't much, especially with like making complex tracks like this, to me it's just easier to just manipulate single mesh objects. Yeah, I mean, you start off planting these things one at a time, but after you get a few of them, you can mass select them and mass copy. Now, would make things quicker is if they put in hotkeys where we could hit X, Y, Z to pick an arrow to move instead of having to click. You know how many times I've accidentally, like just like that, clicked on the wrong thing, had to refind it in here, or because it happened to pick something all the way at the top of the scene tree, and I have to scroll all the way back down. But see, planting these things like this isn't so bad. It's just once you get a few of them planted, then you're making copies of all of them. Which I missed some of them. You make copies of all of them. Still picking one somewhere else. Okay, so you pick all of them, and before you know it, you got quite a few that you can start moving around some. If you if you try to hand plant this stuff, and I had to make my own forest brush because it wouldn't let me use a lot of their stuff wouldn't let me do. I had to make my own element. So I made an element with these borders. But if you're just trying to plant one next to the other, I mean, let alone trying to rotate them. Just say they're all facing the same way, and you're trying to put them down side by side. Hell, that's a job. What would make that easier is if, like in say Ark, that game Ark, or like in Fallout 4, where you got your little house building stuff where you see an outline of the shape that tells you, hey, this is where it's going to go if you click the button. That would be great. But see, we can only rotate based on probability. Like you could say 100, they're not going to all be 100 degrees. They may be 140 degrees, 125, 170, 180.